Well, Orford Ness becomes the aviation test and proof establishment, mainly for aerial weapons. First dive bombing tests are done there. Special weapons are developed. The parachute is tested by the Brits there for the first time, and it's used for photographic trials, for bombing trials, and it's used as a firing range. And then in 1935, Watson Watt comes there, and suddenly the real significance of Orford comes in for the military. It's the place, effectively, where radar is invented.
At a station chosen for its remoteness on the east coast. Here at Orford, in May 1935, a small team of experimental scientists was detached from Slough to conduct these first experiments in RDF. During the months that followed, a trickle of recruits, later in increasing numbers, joined the station. By the end of the year, the original ionospheric gear was achieving ranges on typical aircraft at 10,000 feet up to 45 miles.
In 1935 I first came to Orford Ness at a point when the first radar experiment had been made here, and a flying boat was being detected at about 17 miles. And this had impressed the Air Ministry to a point where they decided to set up a complete team to work on radar detection.
The darkening skies of the mid-1930s, with Germany openly rearming, led to great concern as to the state of our air defences against superior, possibly overwhelming German air forces.
Until this moment, really, we've been thinking that the only way of defending a big city like London from bombers was by sending up balloons with mines hanging from them and hoping aircraft would crash into them, which obviously was realised to be rather ineffective. It's chastening to think, I suppose, that that little team of chaps working with redundant equipment in a few old redundant huts out here at Orford Ness perhaps changed the course of British history and perhaps world history. When war was actually declared, they started doing things called vulnerability experiments, where they brought out Allied and German aircraft and basically shot them up on the range using machine guns to see how the German aircraft were best attacked.
So when did you start working here?
1941, June 41.
And you stayed until?
1959.
And what sort of work were you doing during that time?
I started doing trials up here, bomb ballistic trials. As the bomb was falling, then a cine camera up here would start to photograph the time of the impact. But when it hit the deck on the sea, 3 cameras would be fired to show its position. So what you had to do a ballistic trial, you've got to know what the height of the aircraft, its ground speed, its position in space, the time of release of the bomb, the time of impact and position. And all that was recorded. We did have a lot of aircraft brought over here, badly damaged, which we would set up. And they'd be fired at by different rounds at different angles to measure the vulnerability of the aircraft. And I only just did what I was told and shoot a gun at it. I don't know what happened to the results afterwards.
There was a lot of noise out here and bangs and things being blown apart, so, and a lot of people having a lot of fun, really, it seems to me, when you talk to the people involved.
In the RAF at Orford Ness, we never had it so good. We had a canteen, and I must admit, I must have got on very well with the canteen females. One was a Miss McFarlane. She used to save me a little jar of green hair shampoo, because that was like gold dust.